So we are in Florida, and I flew down here last minute to see Thomas's big truck he just built. As you guys know, if you follow him on Instagram, he has my old lift, and I had to fly down here. So we just landed in Florida, and he picked us up, and we're gonna go look at the big truck. We're gonna hit a show this weekend. We're going to get some good clips. I'm gonna talk about the big truck and show you guys how it drives, and that's about it. So I flew down for the weekend, and yeah, we're here to have some fun. So let's get into the video. All right, I see him coming. Damn, that thing is sick. Seeing it from afar, but that shit looks ignorant. Skating the frick out of 40. Look at this thing. That bitch is awesome. That thing's fucking ignorant.
Create the pressure, yeah. You wish that you can do better, you wish that you can do better, yeah. I know that I can do better. I'm so in love with the chatter. I'm so in love with my little boo. It was written like a letter. Think I was born with the juice. Think I was born with the sauce. Think I was born a little crazy. Then I turned up to a boss. Gotta go and get it. I keep running up the digits. Lost my mind, I gotta fix it. Kill the beat, cold killer. Need to change the way I'm living. Never sleeping, I'm tripping. This is forever and ever. We live forever and ever, yeah. We go forever and ever, yeah. You know that I'm a trendsetter, yeah. You wish that you can do better, no, won't let her, no. We go forever and ever, yeah. I go and create the pressure, yeah. You wish that you can do better, you wish that you can do better, yeah. Yeah. Ooh. We go forever and ever. We go forever and ever, yeah. Ooh. We go forever and ever. We go forever and ever. Real hustlers don't sleep. Cat naps all week. On a mission for the green. I've been at it since a teen. No pillow talk, no tea. Out the way, keep it cheap. Shawty told me she a freak. Wap, straight E. We go forever and ever, yeah. You know that I'm a trendsetter, yeah. You wish that you can do better, no, won't let her. We go forever and ever, yeah. I go and create the pressure, yeah. You wish that you can do better, you wish that you I so. I play the cut with my homies, dressed in all black and we cozy. Can't say you love, you gotta show me. I ain't with my guys, then I'm dolly. Ain't no vibe like this, they don't rock like this, and you know we don't miss. Swish, they don't catch my drift, tell them I ain't they biz, they'll catch my jizz, bitch. Ain't no vibe like this, they don't rock like this, and you know we don't miss. Swish, they don't catch my drift, tell them I ain't they biz, they'll catch my jizz, bitch. I'm in a cut with my homies, I'm in a cut with my homies. Show no love to the police, show no love to the phonies. No love. She wanna come to my homies, she wanna ride like a.
So, look familiar? At all? Any of it look familiar? Well, maybe not from here up, but maybe from right here down to the bottom of the ball joint. Does look familiar? Yeah, all right. So what you have here is what was my first build that I did with Logan for my big white dually that you guys might have seen three-wheeling or when we jumped it for the first time. This was way before I had YouTube. So what I did back then was I took my, I think it was an 01 Ram 3500 I had, and at the time I wanted a big truck. It was always a dream to have a big truck. And when I seen T King's big truck for the first time before I even knew him, I was like, I want one of those one day. So I got a dually and I body swapped it. I did all rust-free parts on it. The frame wasn't bad, but I wanted to drive my truck still when I was lifting it, so I bought another frame lifted it, and then swapped it all again. 2019 to 2020 winter. So I was maybe, let's see, I'd have been 18 at the time when I wanted a big truck. And I had the truck, I just didn't have the money to build the truck. So what I did was I went home one day, I took my truck all apart. I had like $500 in my name, and I literally took my truck all apart. So picture this truck right now, this exact truck right now. Picture it being like just this frame, all this, and nothing underneath it but 2 axles with stock brackets laying on the ground. That's where I was at with it. So over time, about 2 months, I just hustled, made all the money. I bought the shocks off Logan. He hooked me up on 4-link bars, everything, we got it done. Well, then it led into a frame off, and then it led into Brandon abusing it. And abuse, I mean, I took it through a mud hole. I 3-wheeled it pretty much on the daily. Jumped it whenever I seen the train tracks, and used it for work. I would take the Bobcat and the excavator with logs inside of it all last summer, just like this. So picture this. Big old pile of logs, grab them up and just, bed was destroyed, dually flares were half cracked off, and the motor started knocking. It overheated. And eventually, being that it's a Dodge, the trans blew out, so it just sat and sat and sat. I started building the gray truck, I finished the gray truck, and then one of my buddies was like, hey, I want to buy your big truck, so I can rebuild it. So he bought it off me, and then he only ended up using the body. And then T-King bought my old lift. So this is the lift off my big white dually, which you guys just seen in previous clips. What he did was he took it, and when I had the truck, and I first built it, it was really clean, and like I said, it was covered in oil. So Thomas took it, as you guys can see, it is like spotless clean now. Spotless clean, look at that. You can like touch that and eat off of it if you wanted to. When I brought this frame down to him, I might have a photo I can pop in here right now. When I brought this frame down to him, it was covered in oil. The original motor was still inside of it, no trans. I brought him the drive shafts and the full roller. It was rolling, no shocks. No exhaust on it, nothing, no hitch on it. Just a bare roller, and he took it all apart. He redid the frame in a Raptor lining, and in my opinion, that looks 10 times better than powder coat. And it's a textured finish, and it's different. So come down here and look. It's all textured. Don't show them underneath the body yet. We haven't got to that point. Don't show them underneath the body. Just get it to where you don't want to see the frame. Okay, so what we have here is a nice textured finish. This frame was not rusty. It wasn't rotted. It had maybe a couple imperfections, but Thomas is a perfectionist and it all had a match. So it's literally perfect now. And he wrapped lined it black, and then he base coat, clear coated paint over it to match the bars in this. And this is a little bit darker than how I had it. So that being said, Illusion Bluebird powder is what it was. And this is pretty much the closest you can get to Bluebird or Blueberry or whatever you want to do in that shade of blue. This is also the same color of Terran, my girlfriend's build, just flipped. So literally, her suspension is very close to this body, and her body is the exact color as this. So, oh crap, I didn't just say that. Well, if you heard that, you found out her body color. Well, he did a new exhaust on it. He bought brand new shocks, 26x14s, which I don't know why I always ran 20s, 20-inch fuels. Like, that's all. I never even looked at bigger wheels. And now on polished wheels, after I put Gabe's 30s on it, this truck just needs polished wheels. It just needs it. So what it is now is he took a truck he had bought and put all the parts on this and made it what it is. So a little bit about the body and the drivetrain and the motor, I should say. Thomas had a mint, like when I say mint, extended cab, short bed, 2-wheel drive, Cummins, like perfect. So the bed for my girlfriend's truck was the bed that was originally from the front half of this truck because it was a long bed roller, so Thomas did have to source the bed for it. And the bed actually came off another mint original truck. So this body, when I say perfect, is like, okay, I'll just cut to the chase. Come here. We won't be like those YouTubers, I'll make you wait. I mean, I just made you wait to see the body, but it's only 2 minutes. So when I say perfect, this body underside is perfect. Like, look at this. Look at that. Look at them rockers. You could literally like take your steak, lay it on this body, chop it up, put it on the grill, and then finish it. Like, you can eat off of this. Same thing with the bed. I mean, you guys can tell. It's all factory underside paint. All factory underside paint. And it's just like jaw-dropping how nice it is, but that's how Florida trucks are, Texas trucks, anything down south. Back home, this would not be this clean. This truck wouldn't last sitting outside one winter, because if I let it sit outside in Indiana through the winter, the paint would need definitely wet sand in the buff by the time April came in next year. So he put all that on it and he painted it. Beautiful paint job. He did do the sport front end, sport grill on it, and sport bumper. He bought new headlights, new cab lights. I don't know about the mirrors. I don't know where I got the mirrors from. They are second-gen mirrors. And the best thing that he did, now is growing on me. I didn't like it at first. So when Thomas first did this, I did not like it. And like now seeing it, after the fresh paint job, and him putting the lettering back on it, and the sport lettering, and then back here he did the Dodge and the four-wheel drive lettering on the tailgate. And I never liked it, but like now it's growing on me because it looks so original, it's so clean. It's awesome. And he also painted all the tail lights. And believe it or not, this line right here was a factory line that was already on them. But believe it or not, I don't know if on the camera you'll be able to see it. He's gonna turn them on right now. But I mean, yeah, if you guys can see it, you can see it perfectly fine in the day. Like broad daylight, let's come back here a little bit. Broad daylight, you can see it fine. And at first, when he was showing me photos, I wasn't a fan, but now seeing them in person, if you had my same opinion on it, they are sick, they work awesome, they flow great. And yeah, so that's about it with the body. He did all the work himself. And yeah, so let's go on the inside now and check out the interior. So we'll show you this side first. Oh, something it's locked. We'll show you this. Wood grain interior is the best interior. And what else? Oh, we get a better view over here of this thing. Perfectionist, as you guys know, if you do follow him on Instagram, he builds iPad dashes. And only for second gens. So if you got a 2G, get the iPad dash from him. 98 to 02. But gotta check this out. All right, cut. Okay. He does iPad dashes, as I just said. And this time, he went over the top and didn't want to cut up a mint original dash. So he went ahead and made his own wood grain bezel out of a factory black one. But first he molded the iPad into the factory black one, primed it, did everything like that, painted it, and then did his wood grain over how he would send it out without wood grain. And if you ask me, it matches identical. So with that being said, let's talk a little more about the suspension and go from there. Okay, so this truck is bone stock completely besides the exhaust, and it's just awesome. Like, I want this truck so bad, but I already have another big truck to build. I have it all designed, and I'd rather let someone else buy this off Thomas and enjoy it, because I tell you what, I had a lot of fun inside of it. Good and bad fun inside of it. And Thomas took this thing and did what it needed from the start. If you guys seen my big truck when it was ignorantly big, it was on 3rd gen axles. Now it's back on the original axles because I had some tiff where I wanted different axles. I don't know, it didn't work in my best way, so I had to put stock axles back on it. But when I was on 3rd gen axles, this thing would have been like a whole foot higher right now, but this is where it rides like the best. Like 3rd gen axles, when I had them, it rode like shit. Like right now, this truck is so mint and drives so nice down the road, it just doesn't compare to any other lifted truck. So he went ahead and took his 26 by 14s off of his crew cab, which you guys might have seen in my video with him in Daytona when we lifted it 12 hours before Daytona. I don't know if I had a video when I went and got it for him. He has that on his channel, which will be down inside in my description. Of the black crew cab, which was red at first, that he's building for SEMA next year. And he also has something coming in before Christmas, hopefully, from Vegas that you guys aren't expecting at all. Like, it's gonna be like, I thought I had the tow rig game on point. That's all I'll say. Another thing is, when I had it, I had my name on it, and he did a very universal overlay on it, which also is his last name. So that's pretty sick. He took everything apart when he painted everything, took the overlays off, took the bars off, everything, pulled the axles out of it, and phenomenal. Come back here, check this out. The truck has full braided brake lines on it. It has a copper line ran from the front to the back that I put on when I built it. He used that still. He went ahead and cleaned up the harness a lot and did full 4-inch exhaust. He had to build his own hangers because when I had the truck, I had hangers actually that came off of right here down and then right here down that held my exhaust until I worked with the cross member so it all flows nice. He went ahead too and did rock lights on it. He did the back wheel wells, I should say. I didn't have them because it wasn't dual, so I just had the regular, just like half-size wheel wells on it. He, like I said, did everything on it. He got the drop down for the drive shaft, so this truck does have literally almost perfect angles, unless you have a SCS gearbox on these big trucks or some type of bracket to tilt your trans. I mean, being that it's a big truck, you'll never have like a dead stock angle unless you have the proper gearbox, which is lots and lots and lots of money. And this $40,000 truck would go to like 60 grand over a box this big, and the fabric case put that in. But these angles are perfect on this thing. If you look back here, come back to the far. If you look back here, the biggest thing in building these trucks are the angles. And if you go dead straight on this back panhard bar, it's the exact same angle as the front. So come around to the front. I'll show you from my experience building trucks, being that is what I did for about 2 years. I still do it now, just personal. And look at those angles right there. The panhard and the drag link angle has to match unless you're on full hydro. Then if you're on full hydro, the thing will just steer like a forklift. Like you'll be rolling down the road and you might just spin out really fast because it just steers so freaking sharp. So he did that, and yeah, that's about it. So he is posting it for sale. And I will say, this thing rolls out down the road so nice. You can go whatever speed, obviously the truck will let you go. So this past weekend, I should say, we took it out to Lifted Florida Truck Show up in Tampa, a little east of Tampa, Florida, and took home top 50. It was best Dodge and just 50 different like rankings, I should say. So took home top 50. It was one of the judges' like favorite trucks with that textured frame. So Lifted Florida Truck Show, it was a blast. We had fun out there. That's the clips you guys just seen in my beginning of my video, and it was just an all-around fun time. Everyone loved it. And then when Thomas first finished his truck, he went to a local car show literally the day he finished it and took home some great shit. As you see, custom big truck, first place, literally the day he finished it. So when you guys buy this truck, unless you don't buy it, unless you waste his time saying you're gonna buy it, I'll take it home and I'll destroy it again. And I'll jump it. And I'll three-wheel it. I will ruin all the wheels on it. But if you do buy it, look it. I mean, it brings home trophies and metal. And that's something to be proud of. I mean, he spent all this money on this truck getting to where it is. Why not have something to show for it? So, with that being said, we're gonna jump to some clips of this thing rolling down the road from the inside, because I don't have a vehicle down here now. I flew down here, so I can't get outside rollers. I wish I could. You guys just seen in the intro to talking about this, it rolling a little bit through the woods, road, down the road, through the woods, up a tree, in the ocean. You just seen that, so let's go into it and let me show you guys how it rolls out. Rolling out down the highway. Getting off now, but we were just doing 75. That bezel Look at that steering wheel. Stupid tight. It needs to be realigned, but I mean, it's a big truck. It doesn't matter. So yeah. Just floating. It's a skateboard. Alright. So that's the video. We fly back home tomorrow. And then, I don't know, might fly back next weekend. Who knows? Maybe it'll be sold by next weekend. Maybe someone will come by and buy it. But what do you guys want to see on my channel? How'd you like the video? Give me your opinion on things about, I don't know, like how I film and what do you want to see at shows. It's hard to film at shows because all the background music just demonetized me instantly. And YouTube is my full-time job. So here's the big truck. Come over here for a second. Come check this out. We are on the ocean. I don't know what ocean this is. I know we're in Fort Myers, Florida, but I can tell you what ocean it is. It's the Pacific. Okay, it's the Gulf of Mexico. And look at the bird. So yeah, let's go get back on a plane and fly back to Indiana for a few days. But now, I'm gonna throw some clips in of the big truck, which is back there. Check out that view. Throw some clips into that of getting the frame put on the body, getting the motor set inside the frame first, I should say. Then the frame on the body. Yeah. So, with that being said, peace.